Welcome back to the Justin Rombough podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about the Indiana Pacers upsetting the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden. The choke 2.0, Tyrese Halliburton. Man, what can we say about our guy Halliburton? Iowa State alum, shout out, the steal of the 2020 draft. Too many teams passed on this guy. I mean, with Reggie Miller sitting courtside, it can't get better than this. You got Chalamet, you got the whole city of New York having a great 47 minutes. It was beautiful. It turned out it couldn't have gone any better for New York. Jalen Brunson was doing his thing. You had OG Anunoby hitting threes. Karl Anthony Towns getting after it. It seemed like raps. I was so upset that I missed this. I went to go see Final Destination Bloodlines again for the second time. And the Knicks go up 7 with about a minute left. I figured it was game over. Tyrese Halliburton hits the game-tying bucket at the end of regulation. But before then, Aaron Nesmith, 8 of 9 from 3, hits 6 threes in the fourth quarter, 5 threes, to basically save Indiana's season. For road teams in the playoffs, you have to win game 1 if you're going to upset in the series. Game 1 is one of the most important games in the whole series. Nesmith ends up with 30 points. Halliburton had 31 points. New York, this is real tough. This is really tough. A bit of deja vu in reverse. You got Celtics going up 20 back-to-back games. You come back from that. This game, you guys are up 14 points with 2 minutes, 50 seconds left, and you blow it. I think this is more of a just avalanche of offense from the Indiana Pacers more than a collapse from the Knicks. I think just before they could even blink, much to 30 years ago when the Pacers did their thing in game 1 with Reggie Miller scoring 6 points in 8 seconds. It's funny how history does seem to not quite repeat, but it does rhyme. And Halliburton, he's had quite the run of just unbelievable, iconic plays. Indiana steals this. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's really tough blow for the Knicks. Tough blow for New York. Obviously, with SGA winning the MVP, he's not American, so he can't really be the face of the NBA. So this is the perfect opportunity for Tyrese Halliburton to take that crown as the face of the NBA. I think he has a great shot to do it. He's going to be the most hated man in New York since Trae Young. Can't wait for the next Side Talk NYC video. Just a really tough blow for New York. They have to win game 2, obviously. Obviously, game 2 is a must win. They have to steal a game in Indiana, obviously. Real tough blow for New York. I love this Indiana squad. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased. We got 2 Wildcats on the squad in TJ McConnell and Benedict Mathurin. Mathurin's caused quite the stir with Giannis trying to choke him out earlier in this postseason. Unbelievable way to end the game. You got to tip your hat to Indiana. They fought hard. Rick Carlisle never broke a sweat. Unbelievable way to end it. And on the other side of the bracket, Oklahoma City and Minnesota. Julius Randle, he's been on quite the run. Obviously, went ballistic from 3. That was the game that Minnesota needed to win. They were in it pretty much the whole first 3 quarters, but at the end of the third, halfway through the third, Oklahoma City went on a run. One of those strange Oklahoma City Thunder runs that is great spell of defensive plays that causes them to get a 10-0 run, and then that turns into the win. They win by 20 plus. It's these runs that come out of nowhere. I think Oklahoma City is just too talented. I see this going maybe to 5-6 games. I think the Thunder have it. I think the Thunder are going to win regardless of who they face next round. I think Indiana could pose for a better threat just because they have more depth. Obviously, they go 10 deep, while the New York Knicks only go about 6.5, 7 deep, depending on how well they're playing. Obviously, a great season for the Thunder. They could have gone for 70 if they really wanted. They have the MVP and SGA. One of the corniest teams I've seen. They seem like a tight-knit group, but all the youth and TikToking is it's not my cup of tea, but you know, that'll send us into our next segment, Boston Celtics Offseason Guide, here on the Justin Rombough YouTube channel. Obviously, this summer is going to be probably the most important summer of Brad Stevens' tenure in the Celtics organization. Probably up there with the acquisition of the big three, with Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce. This is one of the most important summers. Obviously, you have Jason Tatum locked up for the foreseeable future as the cornerstone of the franchise, injured next season with the Achilles injury. You have Jaylen Brown, who I have seen in trade talks, or I've seen in mock trades. If it has to happen, I understand, to save money. I don't want to see Jaylen Brown go. I want the Jays to stick together. I think this new second apron crap is ridiculous. One of the stupidest things the NBA has done. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown should be in Boston for the rest of their careers. They were both drafted into the franchise. Teams should be rewarded for drafting players. Pretty much the only team that can sustain this second apron is, I think, the Oklahoma City Thunder, just because of the youth. And obviously, they'll probably have to get rid of either SGA, Chet, or Jalen Williams at some point in the next 6 to 7 years. I think they can sustain it, though, as Cason Wallace, Andrew Wiggins, or Aaron Wiggins, excuse me, but they have all these kind of guys. Lou Dort, they'll probably have to get rid of him, but they just have these guys that they can interchangeable wings. Alex Caruso. There's just so many ways that the Thunder can get those athletic bigs. On the other hand, the Celtics, obviously they had the amazing unit last year, the starting unit, Drew Holiday, Chris Stapps, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford. That unit plus Pritchard and Hauser. Off the bench, Cornette. It's a great unit, but obviously Porzingis, his illness, we're probably either going to have to get rid of Porzingis and Holiday and maybe Derek White. I've seen Derek White to the Warriors. I think that would be a huge blow. Derek White's one of the most beloved Celtics, up there with Al Horford and the Jays. It's just really tough offseason. I've seen scenario A being keep it all the same and just take the tax, the repeater's tax. I don't love that option. Scenario B, getting rid of Porzingis and Holiday, seeing what you can get. There's not a lot out there. Drew Holiday's coming up on his 35th birthday, I believe, and obviously he's been slowing way down as a high-intensity defensive player, much like how well Marcus Smart has aged, which isn't well, and then Porzingis with his illness. Derek White, obviously we don't want to get rid of him, but he's probably going to have to go maybe. Sam Hauser. Pritchard, I think, will be able to stay. One of my favorite trades that I've seen, obviously with the success of Nesmith, I want to try to get him, McConnell, and Mathurin for Drew Holiday. I saw that as a potential trade. I think that would be huge. It would be an interesting scenario for the backup point guards of the Boston Celtics to be Pritchard, or the point guards to be Pritchard and McConnell. That would be a pretty fun unit. I've seen the Rockets mentioned trading Jaylen Brown for Fred VanVleet, Tari Eason, trading Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown for Tari Eason, Fred VanVleet, the 10th overall pick, and another first-round pick. That would be a lot that would definitely, they would have to have a conversation about that for sure. I think just with Jabari Smith's shooting ability, VanVleet being able to control the offense, Tari Eason being an absolute demon on the defensive side of the ball, they would definitely have to think about it. And then scenario C being trading everybody but Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and just rebuilding around them too. I think that could be a viable option. Whatever is going to happen, I know Brad Stevens and Joe Mazzulla, I trust them to put Tatum in the best possible chance of winning. When he comes back, I'm hoping they can be contenders. We'll see how the East is. We'll see where Giannis ends up. We'll see how Cleveland, what they'll be able to do. Some offseason teams to look out for. Obviously, the San Antonio Spurs with that second overall pick. We'll see what happens in Boston. The Lakers, will see if they're able to secure a free agent to help out Luka and LeBron. What are the Sixers going to do with that third overall pick? There's a lot of fun scenarios that'll be unveiled this summer. Yeah, we'll have more content coming for you. This has been the Justin Rombough podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.